Hi guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Penny.
And we are the Oyster Boys, and today, Penny's made Old Speckled Hen.
This is classic Oyster Boys, isn't it? This is when we decided, when we were doing just random beers that we pick up from a shop, reviews, and then now and again we'd throw in clones that we made, and that's like what got all the hits and all the watches that people really reacted to. And we've not done a clone for ages, and obviously Old Speckled Hen. You give me a CAMRA book.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it, so we can show a picture here.
Here's the book.
So we discussed and went through the thing, and we're like, well, what ale did your dad drink? What's the most popular? And for me, Old Speckled Hen.
Yeah.
This Old Speckled Hen is an ale that I enjoy drinking. My dad drinks it every Christmas. It's either outside, you've either got Newcastle Brown or Old Speckled Hen.
It's been a long time since I've had an Old Speckled Hen, and I'm looking forward to having one again.
For me, the same as well. I don't, really. Well, as we know, it's not more about the strength of the beer for him now because the liquid content. But yeah, it's been a long time. So, and I tell you what, we've not done for a long time. There's some history of the beers as well.
Come on,
classic history.
Tell me all about Old Speckled Hen.
So it's not as old as I thought. I thought it's going to be like an old beer that was like brewed somewhere down in Kent or something like that from like the 1800s, but it's not. 1979.
Right.
It was brewed, so what, 43 years old?
So young Speckled Hen, really.
A young Speckled Hen, yeah. So it was actually brewed in celebration of 50 years for MG, the car manufacturer.
Oh, right, okay.
So the car manufacturer went to the brewery at the time was Moreland's.
Yeah.
And said to them, look, can you brew a beer for our 50th anniversary? And a guy called Daniel O'Leary, who was a brewer there and actually used to make the barrels, was actually making a beer in his garden, a home brewer.
Right.
And the recipe, the brewery ran with that recipe, and was born Old Speckled Hen. And the reason it's called Old Speckled Hen is because they used to have a runaround car in the area that was the paint was flaking off, and it was called the old Old Speckledon.
Right. Okay.
The old Speckledon car, getting the Old Speckledon, and then it translates to the Old Speckled Hen, and that's where it come from. So, 1980, the factory actually moved away. So it's Abingdon in Oxfordshire. So it moved away. And you could only really get Old Speckled Hen in the Moreland breweries, and it sort of dropped off a bit. Moreland went down the route of focusing on from lagers. Then 1990, they decided to revive it. In 1993, Michael Jackson's Beer of the Month. I think that was a big thing in the 90s, where he used to promote a beer.
Old Michael Jackson?
I don't think the Michael Jackson.
Oh, right, okay. A different Michael.
I don't know.
A Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, but it was in like a magazine, and it got Beer of the Month. And the sales just went through the roof from then on. 2003, it's owned by Green King.
Yeah.
They obviously then decided to put Old Speckled Hen. You can get it in a bottle, you can get it in a can, get it in cask, and you can get it in draft. So there's two different strengths. The one that we did, this come out 5.1. This is 5. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of Old Speckled Hen. Come on, mate. This is classic Oyster Boys. This is why we.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
This is where we started.
I think I zoned out for a little while there.
People love the history.
Should we get them in the glass?
Come on, let's get in the glass.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't that long that the sun's come in, and now it's night time, and I've got a different hat on.
It's almost like something's happened here. I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to go my cat. Well, I mean, we've got the same glasses, which is probably quite good because a lot of people moan at us saying, "Oh, the drinks are different in different glasses."
One guy moaned at us. It's not commented since we called him out.
King Butemeister. So matching glasses, so we can see how much they look or don't look like each other. Penny making a mess. Classic.
Well, the reason why things have changed, you can see how much. Well, you can't see because it's on the old video, but you can see how much clearer.
Yeah, I've put on about 2 stone since we started filming this.
We decided to redo it again because the keg was shook up when I kegged it. It was all murky. It didn't look anything like it was coming out on draft at mine.
And there we go. It actually sounds like, I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like there's some absolute action going on somewhere. Police running around, dogs barking. Fuck knows what's going on. Who knows?
I mean,
one's darker than the other, definitely.
It is, but like...
It's a good squat. It's a good...
If you have those, when you get the different colours of the paint and you have the different tones.
I know, like when your wife says go and get grey paint, and then
you paint the whole room, and then she goes, I don't like it.
Yeah, it comes back with 85 different greys.
Yeah. well, this I'd say this would be the shade lower.
But it's not far off.
I tell you what, I don't know if we spoke about in the the intro to this video, but basically there was 2 recipes we found. We had one from the CAMRA Club,
Yeah.
which is their book, which we wanted to do it from. And then we actually found out later that Malt MIller had the recipe. Now, the CAMRA Club had Black Malt in. It was only about 24 grams or something like that. So it was just giving it a bit of the edge. And Malt MIller didn't have it. And I think basically they might have, maybe, made the recipe, took the Black Malt out, which literally is just thrown in there for colour. And I would say if we did it without the Black Malt, that would pretty much be the same.
I think you're probably right. Just make it a little bit like, one thing I would say that does look the same is the head. It's like, it's not like a really tight, small bubble white head or light head that you see on some beers. It's kind of like, it's very big bubbles, isn't it? It's open. Open is the word I'm going to use.
Yeah.
But looks wise, if I hold the two next to each other,
should.
real. So Old Speckled Hen and Young Speckled Hen, I'm going to say over here, right? I reckon, apart from the fact it's a bit darker, it's fairly accurate, isn't it?
I don't think that's bad, to be honest.
As a clone, I'd give it probably a 7.
Well, what do you mean? You can't give it as a clone. You've got to give it the 5 oyster scores.
Oh,
it's not been that
okay.
long
Okay.
since we've done the video.
It's been a while, mate. It's been a while. Okay, I mean, looks wise, I'm going to give it a 7-8. A 7-8.
And what? So someone give you that in a pub, you would go, that's a 7-8. You'd be happy with that?
Well, if I'd ordered a pint of Old Speckled Hen, I would.
Yeah, but we're trying to find the perfect pint in the world. Someone's give you that and goes...
You're telling me that you want me to drop the score of a
no,
beer that you made? Oh, I'm going to keep it. I've said it. I've said it, so I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
What's your score,
7.
Penny? 7. Oh, fine.
7.
Let's give it a sniff.
Well, we've got to sniff it, obviously, compare the 2.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. We're not comparing it, but we'll compare the 2. Yeah. Fucking perfect. Yeah.
Tell you what,
it's almost like I've had a few drinks before this video, isn't it?
Yeah, sitting drinking Radlers all day, and he still managed to get drunk at 3% beer. That is definitely sweeter, and you're getting that sort of like caramel.
It's like this one. It's like the homemade one. Is like this on crack.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of smell, but it's a lot more intense in the homebrew one. You need to dial it back to get it to the commercial version.
Yeah, but
it's not bad.
I would prefer the smell of this than that. So I was blindfolded and someone said, which would you rather drink? Because you can taste that, you can smell the bitterness on that, and you go, I think that's going to be too sweet.
Yeah, I think I prefer.
It's that crystal malt that's coming through, isn't it?
Yeah.
And maybe less so on this. I mean, we sugar in this. To give it a bigger mouthfeel. I did. Well, that was in the recipe.
Yeah. No, I mean.
And I don't know. Do you think they would use sugar from Old Speckled Hen?
Probably not.
No.
I don't think they're just dumping bags of Tate and Lyle in at the brewery.
No. So maybe that might have affected the... Because you're getting a lot of malt, really, from that, aren't you? But it's given a lot, though, isn't it? It's given a lot of smell.
There is, yeah.
And I reckon if I give that, without a comparison to someone and said, if you thought of an ale, a famous ale, would you smell it, that regularly drank Speckled Hen, they would go, that's Old Speckled Hen.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that burnt toffee. It's like a kind of marmalade-y smell, isn't it? It's like sort of like, you know, sweet and a bit bitter and dry, isn't it? It's nice.
It is nice. I do like it. I would give that a nice 7.
Round 7, double 7s.
Double 7s.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm going to give it a 7.2. Odd for me because it's dark, but I do like that. I do like that smell.
Yeah.
Can we taste it now?
We can taste it.
What are you tasting first? I'm going to go for the real one, so I know what I'm looking for.
Cheers, everyone, by the way. Yeah.
Cheers. Sorry, man. I've been so thirsty. You're waffling on for so long. Cheers. Cheers. That's the first video we've not cheers, isn't it?
Well done.
Maybe we can record it again in 4 weeks.
No, this is the second time we've done this video. Hence why it's different from the start. I think I might have been wearing a hoodie in the first one.
Yeah, I think we probably were. It was a lot sunnier.
Big mouthfeel, as you expect. That stickiness always coming through.
Yeah. It's a lot lighter, isn't it?
It's less stickier. It's a lot lighter. Carbonation's good.
Yeah.
Between the two. There's definitely some similarity. I would say ours is a little bit more hoppier.
Sumeridians.
It's been a while since we've done a drunk review, isn't it? It has been a while, to be honest.
This is the only time I was only one of us is drunk.
I've had to sort of go, I'm going for a dog walk, peg it to yours, do a review, peg it back, and she's gone, you were a little bit longer. We took our time.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more hoppier. That's like really thicker on the mouthfeel, stickier. That's more like a little bit thinner and full of hops. However, the malt bill is there or thereabouts. What's interesting, obviously, is they have two different types. They obviously have the ones that come in the cans and the bottles, and then they have the ones that come in the cask.
Different beers?
Well, it's a different ABV, so
Right.
it must be slightly different. So, however, I think the ABV on these are the more similar. So whether we were aiming towards more the tinned than the cask, it didn't actually specify. So
Cans at 5%. I'm guessing we're at near enough 5% on there.
I think just over. So I think
Tough job.
slightly more sweeter. This tastes less complex than that. So I think you might have, maybe you could tweak the grain bill and it'd be very similar, and maybe a little bit less bitter in hops, and you wouldn't be a million miles off.
No, I think you'd be fairly
I
close.
think the yeast though, so we use WLP 005, the British ale yeast. I think that is
quite
bang
well.
on. Bang on. I wouldn't try it with a different one.
No, I think you're probably right. I think this feels a bit thinner in your mouth,
Yeah,
this one.
maybe because of the sugar
Yeah.
instead of using all grain. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think probably, because if you use, Tate & Lyle table sugar or whatever, it's going to thin
that's
it out
what I
more.
used. Yeah.
It's not bad, though.
No,
No,
not at all.
Not at all, no.
I've given that to a few people. A lot of them have gone, that are ale drinkers, and I've gone, yeah, great. They're not really into craft ales, not really into the hoppy beers, and I've given that, and they've gone, boom, bang on, love it.
It is kind of like a Grandad pint, isn't it?
100%. It reminds me of, I remember once I was in the Trout Inn in Bilf Wells. If there's any people in that sort of neck of the woods that know where we're at, and they serve flowers. Because I remember going there and going, Jesus, flowers. I've not seen that since, Jesus, my dad was drinking it since the 90s. And I said, how have you managed to get that? Give me a pint of that. I was like, oh, I don't even think they had any hops in it. Like 5 grams of bitter in hops. It was pure malt. And all the old boys are in the back playing dominoes. And
Loving
like,
it.
That,
Absolutely
yeah,
loving
and
it.
that's the sort of pint that that is. It is
Yeah.
what you...
It's a Grandad beer, isn't
It
it?
is what your
It's
Grandad
a
beer
Grandad beer.
What would you give it then?
For me, we're looking for the perfect pint, aren't we? And Grandad beers aren't the perfect pint for me.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Well, we had that
I'm doing
real
that.
ale
I'm
bit
doing-
where everyone put the real ale prices up to £3 a pint sort of thing.
I'm doing that whole Benjamin Button thing. It's Grandad pints, and then I'm working my way back down. I give it a 6.8.
It was a 6.9 for me.
Yeah.
I think it is complex. It's tasty, but it's sticky, isn't it?
Well, the stickiest.
Yes.
And it is.
It's sticky. Yes.
Price, how much?
It was £21.40 for the 19 litres, so it works out about.
60p.
Hey, you're getting good at this, aren't you?
Yeah,
You
6p
are
a pint.
getting good at this.
I
So-
reckon about 6p a pint.
But don't forget, obviously, we had it wasn't the biggest grain bill. I think it was
Is
about.
that 60p including your bag of sugar? Or?
No. So you probably maybe bump it up to 65p. But if you think about the grain bill was probably about
Damn.
3 kilograms.
That's not a lot, really.
No, it wasn't a lot. And then and then we had the yeast. It was about £9 coming at that. And then you had the East Kent and Challenger hops. I think it was about 36 and 16 or something like that. Oh, if you can hear that in the background, that's Chester Races.
Is it?
It was Chester Races, yeah. Announcing the horses.
I don't think it is. That's just a goose.
You think it's a goose?
It's not Chester Races this week, mate.
Okay, apologise. We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
No, we won't.
Cut that.
We will not. We will not be cutting that at all. Just leave it in. Price-wise, where are we? Oh yeah, okay. We said it was 60p. Blah blah blah. All that shit.
I don't think that's mega when.
I reckon if you could find a dry yeast that works for you with this beer, you could come up with something that is incredibly cheap and incredibly good.
Yeah.
But I think paying £9 for yeast in this is a waste.
I was just following the recipe, so.
No,
Yeah.
no. I get that. But following the recipe has made it expensive. Whereas, what was the whole kit cost? £20?
£21.40.
Right, £21, and you paid £9 for yeast. And if you paid £3 for yeast, you'd be looking at what, £14 for the kit, £15 for the kit.
£16 for the kit.
I was close. I was going to get there sometime. But that would be...
It'd probably take you below 50p, which would be good. But I mean, we've obviously done a lot of beers and we've done a lot of...
I don't think that's worth it for this. That's my view.
I think the yeast is spot on, personally. But it depends how much. If you're a fan of Grandad beers, then I would pay it.
Yeah.
So let's give them the score. Right, I'll go first. I think 6.5.
Yeah, I think 4.9.
Wow, not bad. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth it for that.
Okay.
60p. We've had some absolutely stormy beers for 60p a pint.
I think if you're trying to get close to that and you've used that, I think that's not bad. But
yeah.
But I think it's the fact that we've used sugar in that, and
it's thinned it out.
And
it's thinned it out.
Yeah, but it's also we've had that high price and we've used sugar in, which is not regarded as the best. So, sessionability, it's quite sticky, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I personally for me, I couldn't drink too many because it's a bit dark for my taste. I wouldn't want to sit all day and session this in my garden on a hot summer's day.
No. This is your October, November beer, isn't it?
I'd probably have 2 of them.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I'd have 2. And then I'd move on to something a bit lighter.
Yeah? Like your Radler?
Well, I can move on to
like
50.
Lemon water.
Lemon water, yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do that when you score that? Well, that might go over 10, do you think, for sessionability?
I don't know, I'd have to... it could well do. We'll see, won't we?
We will. I would give that 4.
4. Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, I am happy we did this though, because it is El Clasico oysters.
Oh yeah.
Can you clone an Old Speckled Hen?
The neighbours are curious as if I can. Yeah, Chester Racers are really wondering.
I think that's a wrap. We've been here long enough. It's now getting dark from the early sunshine before, so.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. Pay more attention to all of our other videos. Smash like, hit subscribe, do all those other things. Ignore people in the background on your videos where you're trying to film. Dog running away with your microphone.
Yeah. We'll get him a glass of water.
Yeah. Oysters out.